Hi guys. So a lot of us have probably heard of this term that's around in society, in our culture these days, the death of expertise. And if you haven't heard of it, you witness it every day in your practice. Clients come in with a diagnosis from Dr. Google long before they ever step foot in the clinic. They bring paperwork from their breeder warning them not to let their vet sell them on the lepto vaccine because it will kill their dog. They tell us what medications they want for their pet before they've even been examined. And this isn't just a problem in veterinary medicine, it's happening everywhere. Big pharma is poisoning us to make a buck. Climate scientists are in it for the money, and lawyers are crooks. Well, that one's not new. But the point is, people today don't trust experts. They don't trust us. There are a lot of reasons for this, most of which I'll leave to the sociologists. But there's one in particular that I think resonates in veterinary medicine: powerlessness. We've always been relatively powerless to the whims of biology. People and animals get sick. No matter how many advances we make in modern medicine, we still keep getting sick. And we humans don't like thinking there are many things out there that are outside of our control. Just think about how you feel when you have a case that comes in and there's really nothing you can do to help that client or that patient. Or you think you can help, but then despite everyone's best efforts, things still go bad. You feel terrible. And if you feel terrible and powerless and out of control, just imagine how that family must feel. They've got a sick pet and all they can do is bring them to us and trust a virtual stranger with the health of a member of their family. Now, this isn't new. Sickness and medicine are as ancient as we are. But add in all the new ways that we feel powerless in the world today. Powerless to the politicians who run our government. Powerless to the big corporations who rule our economy. Powerless to Mother Nature and the ever-worsening natural disasters that are crippling our cities. And people are grasping for any little bit of control they can get. And health, in particular, is an area where everyone wants to have more control. Because if you can't control your own body, what can you control? And when the health of you or someone you love is in the hands of someone else, that's even scarier. I experienced this firsthand last fall when I got sick. I had stomach pain and nausea. I could barely eat for months. I lived off of a diet of matzo ball soup and sherbet. Tasty, sure, but not very nutritious. And I had CTs and MRIs and endoscopies, and I got no answers. And it took an awfully long time to get those non-answers. I had to wait for insurance clearance. I had to wait for radiology appointments. I had to wait 7 weeks to get an endoscopy. I felt helpless. My doctors had all the power to schedule my tests, the power to give me my results, the power to prescribe medication and treatment options. And all I could do was sit around and wait. And as much as I just wanted to call in Dr. Reed, the vet who does my patients' upper GIs, and see if he could scope me, I knew that wasn't really an option. But I'll admit, I did a little bit of self-medicating. I did a lot of internet research. I reviewed my own radiology images, and I tried to diagnose myself, because I had to do something. I wasn't just physically miserable, I was emotionally miserable. I felt trapped and powerless, so I did what I could to try to regain a little bit of power back over my situation. How can I fault our clients if they do the same? Of course, I don't want my clients to feel this way in the first place. I can't protect them from biology. Their pets are going to get sick sometimes. But hopefully I can make them feel like they're more than just passive observers waiting and hoping for me to give them all the answers. I don't want to just be the person with the stethoscope and the prescription pad wielding the power of my position over them. So what can we do to make our clients feel less powerless? To make them feel like they're an integral member of the team taking care of their pet's health? Well, for starters, it's important to build a rapport with our clients. My doctors didn't do this for me when I was sick. They barely had the time of day at all for me, and their support staff wasn't very supportive. I didn't get follow-up from anyone consistent or even anyone knowledgeable. My gastroenterologist had someone call me with my biopsy results to tell me that they were benign. That's great, but what's the histopathologic diagnosis, I asked. The person on the phone didn't even know what that word meant, let alone what the next step in my treatment should be. Now, I understand that physicians today have to deal with a lot of bureaucracy that makes it hard for them to give their patients the time they deserve. But we don't have those barriers in veterinary medicine. We get to take the time to talk to our clients and get to know them. And when we've established that trust, it's great. We all have those amazing clients who come in on a regular basis, follow all our recommendations, and like to chit-chat with us about the Mets, who are doing awesome this year, by the way. But let's face it, that's not the majority of our clients. Most of the people we see every day are virtual strangers. But just because we can't know all of them doesn't mean that they can't know us. That's where social media comes in. I know I'm preaching to the choir in this room, but people really can get to know the faces that they see on Instagram and Facebook every day. So let's let it be our faces that they're seeing. Let's let them get to know us as people and veterinary professionals. It's also important that we talk to our clients like they're equals. When I was sick, I spent a lot of time feeling dismissed and talked down to. No one ever took the time to make sure that I understood what was going on or ask if I had any questions. And my doctor spent more time in the exam room filling out their EMRs than looking me in the eye. All I wanted was for someone to have a conversation with me and talk to me on my level. Now, I get that my level is different than most of their clients and patients, and we deal with people of all different levels of understanding every day too. So we're not going to have the same conversations with everybody. But if you pay attention to people, they'll let you know where they're at. Have a conversation with the person that's standing in front of you and tailor that conversation to them. And talking about getting on people's levels, I tend to take this literally too. One of the first things I usually do when I get into an exam room is crouch down and let the dog come up and sniff me. Now that's good from a fear-free perspective, sure, but that's not all it does. It literally puts me down below the level of the client too, which lets them feel more powerful in the situation. Our body language can say as much, if not more, than the words that we use. And at the end of the visit, when it's time to go over everything that's going on, try taking a seat. That makes it more of a conversation, one where the client feels included, rather than dictated to or lorded over. And finally, how about we give our clients some choices? People love choices. Not too many, of course, because decision fatigue is real, and I understand that there's some controversy over how much choice we should be giving clients when it comes to their pet's medical treatment. But I'm not talking about presenting them with 8 different treatment options or letting them pick and choose which diagnostics they want to run right off the bat. I'm talking about the bigger choice. What are their goals for their pet? When a really sick or elderly patient comes in, that usually comes down to one of 3 things. We can do whatever it takes to save that pet. Go the whole 9 yards, work them up, hospitalize, refer to a specialist. Or we can pursue palliative and empirical treatment. Treat for the treatable, keep the pet comfortable, and see how they do. Or we can euthanize. Giving the clients this kind of choice lets them know that we're on their side and we're not going to judge them if they can't or won't go to extraordinary lengths for their pet. Once they've chosen which path they want to take, then we can guide them down it. Too often these days, our job has become a struggle to be respected, to be taken seriously, a struggle to connect with our clients. And I see a lot of us pushing back, trying to retain our status as the expert in order to hold on to our power. But the more we try to hold on to our power, the more clients are going to try to hold on to theirs, because doubt and skepticism is powerful. It lets them feel like they're still in control. So why don't we just let them have some of that control back? Because if we spend too much time getting caught up in a power struggle, no one's going to win. Least of all, our patients. Thank you.